Hello stars, TehJew22 here, and I just wanted to give you my review of 2016 as we move into 2017. And I just want to say hello to all you toads and toadettes and whatever other creatures you want to be, such as frogs like LPGrodus or Pikachus like my good friend PikaPlayzHD, which I'll get to in a moment. Um, but on the whole, though, I just want to say hello to you guys, and I just wanted to do a little video. In fact, I was challenged, which may not even be the best word to describe it, but my good friend challenged me to make a New Year's video slash old year in review, and got a little bit of gas today. I should probably ease off there, but anyway. I had a good dinner earlier. Not something I usually get, but well, that's practically what I've been reduced to. But hey, who's counting? But but before I lose any more focus, I just want to say thank you to the fans and to my good friends out there, and I also want to wish a happy new year to all my friends and to all the fans out there. And some of you may be new, and some of you have been with me for a long, long time, and I just want to say thank you. As for the year that I've had, it's been different from most other years. For starters, uh, I have definitely been knee deep in in work, whether it was homework or schoolwork or lately my actual job, which I'll get to in a moment. But I've definitely been knee deep, more so than I have in years. And, you know, in years past, it never was this bad. But then again, I am getting to that point where I'm starting to, uh, I guess you could say, grow up. But I really don't think that's the word to describe it. It's more like just getting my feet wet and just learning on the job, and to have a job, which again I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, I've definitely been the busiest I have been in years, and even though it just isn't the same as it had been in years, but nonetheless, though, it's been a wonderful year for me. There have been some setbacks, yes, but nothing that has happened I wouldn't have taken back. Most of the time. There is one thing I would talk about, but that should probably be its own video. But as for the year that I've had, well, for starters, I have moved into a new house. For those of you that have been with me during the summer, you have known that I have moved into a new house, and at this point, it's finally sunken into me that it is my home, and nothing can change that. And I've only been to the site of my old house once, and and it's kind of funny to see what was once your house not be your house anymore. And I mean, it was something to get used to, but uh, currently though my house I mean, it's not completely under renovation. It's mainly my kitchen. Uh, it's looking better and better and better. And pretty soon, when it's done, I will show you a video of my house, my new current house. But in the meantime, though, yeah, it was a struggle to even get somebody to buy my old house. And it was also a struggle to find a new house, as well as the negotiations that go with it. And I'm pretty sure my good friend Conasport could attest to this. I mean, I have never been as stressed out. Well, actually, I have been, but it had been years since I had been stressed out to the level of trying to find trying to find a buyer, trying to find a house to buy, and then trying to sell the house that I had, and doing it in such a timely fashion. It was a struggle, yes, but I say the payoff was worth it. I love my new house, and of course there are some things that I may not like about the new house, but then again, I expected that that would be the case going into this whole thing. So I have a new house. I also have some new friends, some of which, like, one person that carried over from 2015, he came in very, very late in 2015, but he definitely made a huge impression to begin the year, and of course lately he has been a little bit quiet, but he is a good friend nonetheless. That would be JVertus. JVertus is the guy that smashes with me, and I have a lot of video. I have quite a bit of videos backlogged that feature him, which again they'll be coming out when they come out, of course. But as far as JVertus himself, he's a really good guy, and sure, he may come off as a bit of a show off. He may come off as a jerk to some people, but just know that it's all in good fun, and in fact, it's just, that's, it's how do I put this? He's not being a jerk just to be a jerk. You know, he just pretends to be, but for the most part, though, he's a really great guy, very good guy, and and he's very easy to talk to, very easy. So do check him out. I'll see if I can. I think I might add a link in the description, or maybe he might just comment on this video, and then you could just click on the link to his channel straight up. I mean, it's. But yeah, JVertus, very cool guy, very, very cool. But as far as then let's see, anybody else? Another person that has made a huge impression on me. I mentioned this guy before, but for those of you who are new, I may as well catch you up to speed. The artist formerly known as Ultimate Pikachu 1 fan. For those of you wondering, whatever happened to that guy? Whatever happened to Ultimate Pikachu Fan 1? Well, he didn't die, but his channel did. And since then, he has started a new channel entitled PikaPlayzHD. That's plays with a Z instead of an S, or Z as they call it in the United Kingdom. Plays HD. And another big change as far as and I almost forgot to mention that PikaPlayzHD, or Pika for short, he's probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he's just so lovable. I mean, you can't help but love the guy. By that I mean he's just a really nice guy, and just he's very, very easy to talk to. Of course he may be busy at times, and of course if you live in the United States, of course the time zone differences could be troublesome, yes, but if you can get past that, though, you'll realize how wonderful he really is as a person. But not to mention, he's very good as a Let's Player, probably one of the best. That I just enjoy it, and I have a bunch of his videos backlogged onto my Watch Later playlist. So yeah, I'm gonna get to your videos, man. But that's what happens when you have a bunch of videos and not a lot of time to do it. It's just, yeah, that's what happens when you don't have as much free time as you used to. And plus, you have a lot of subscriptions to watch. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, then there's the artist formerly known as PikaPlayzHD. Recently, or not recently, but during the second half of the year, he changed his name to he just wanted to go under his own name, which now that he's revealed it, I can just call him by his first real name, and that's Jason. But then PikaPlays HD and myself, we came up with a sub name. In addition to his real name, and we thought, well, since Jason loves to play Japanese RPGs, I just thought to myself, well, wait a minute, why don't we just call him Jason RPG? And ever since then, the name stuck, and I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that PikaPlays and myself came up with that name, and it just fits. It really does fit. I mean, the man, honestly, though, as far as Jason RPG, now that that's his name, uh, since Jason is a big RPG fan, and he knows his RPGs like the back of his hand, or at least the ones that he has played, honestly, I look at him as the prince of RPGs. Excuse me. Whereas H.C. Bailey is indisputably the king. I mean, come on, you're just not going to beat H.C. Bailey. I mean, really though, it's going to have to. It's going to take probably the retirement or a bad performance by H.C. Bailey or something like that. Something unforeseen, really. But but on the whole, though, Jason, he knows his RPGs, and if you ever needed help with RPGs, he's the guy for you. And if you love RPGs, definitely give him a watch. Although recently, he's the guy that inspired me to do this New Year's or Old Year's review video, or the outlook on it, because he gave me an outlook of his, and I just saw the video and I thought, you know what, Jason, you know what, you're my brother, and you've inspired me to more or less do the same. I mean, I'm not completely fat or obese, but I'm definitely need to lighten lighten the what is it, the breadbasket a little bit. I mean, of course, I'm not like completely fat, but I do want to wish you and whatever goals you have for yourself. And may your dreams come true, man. And I could probably say the same thing for everybody that I have mentioned already. But go out there and make your dreams come true, because no one else is going to do it for you. I mean, you can pray to whatever deity that you wish to worship. Just so long as you're not hurting anybody, of course. But the main thing is you got to go out and do it. I mean, ultimately, you have to make the decision to do that. And I'm not just talking about Jason. I'm also talking to myself, and I'm talking to you guys. Go out there and get what you want. Just don't hurt yourself, and better yet, don't hurt anybody in the process. I mean, because it's easy to hurt somebody to get what you want, but it's very hard to get what you want and not hurt anybody. But but then again, when you get what you want the hard way, it just makes it all that much sweeter when you do get it. That being said, though, let's see. Anybody else or anything else? Okay. Now, some of you may remember this. Some of you may be new, or some of you might have missed it. I don't know. But I mentioned before that I had gotten a new job. The old job that I had coming into the year was the job that I left. When I started the year, the job that I had, I used to love my job there because, well, to be fair, I mean, at least I was doing the job that I was paid to do. Uh, and plus, I wasn't, I was performing a service, and at least the people were really nice to me, as well as management. Unfortunately, though, business started to fade, and it started to affect me in such a way that I ended up doing odd jobs and, taking out the garbage or doing the dishes, which the latter two jobs, I mean, I mean, not to say that they're not practical jobs, they are, but that's not what I went to do. I went to do, like, make yogurt parfaits or do prep work to do salads or something like that, or even just a fruit salad. I don't mind any of those jobs, but to do dishes, I'm like, nothing. Again, nothing wrong with doing dishes, but that's not something that brings any fulfillment in my life. And to top that all off, I mean, I was just the stress of trying to sell my house and the stress from schoolwork, not to mention the commute. I mean, those were factors that led to me leaving my old job. And but I also want to let the fans know, and if for whatever reason my old manager is watching this, I just want you guys to know that it is nothing against the management. It was not their fault, but I just was not happy. I just really was not happy there, and I'm happy that they were kind enough to just simply let me go. And in fact, by doing that, they did a huge, huge favor in doing so. Um, so I practically spent the month of October more or less to find a new job, and I just want to thank the good Lord above. You know, by the grace of God, I was able to get the job, a job at FedEx. That's short for Federal Express. More specifically, FedEx Ground. Ground is what that is a subsidiary, basically a company within the bigger company. And what FedEx Ground does is, well, one, they receive packages to be unloaded. Like, let's say for instance, Loot Crate comes over because we get Loot Crate and all sorts of other Crate and Barrel. I mean, anything that you can think of, like Amazon, for instance. Like they send us their stuff, but it's all scattered. In other words, the boxes, they come in nice and well packaged, but of course it is up to us to unload it and make sure that it goes into the pallet that it needs to be loaded on, to be sent to where it needs to go to, so that when we get to the loading dock, it will go to the post office that it needs to go to in order to reach the customer that it needs to reach. So, and practically we are the middlemen. We're the guys that have to sort out the pallet, or rather the packages that come into the warehouse, load it onto a pallet, and then have it ready for loading to to whatever city that it needs to go to for that post office. So that's more or less how the job works in its simplest form. I mean, there's other variations on that, but that's just the job that I have in a nutshell. I mean, I've done a lot of jobs within the job, and but I think the best part is not the job itself, even though it is, but the best part has to be the people, because it's one. I mean, the job itself, as rewarding as it is, it's a very tough job. Um, but the people make it. The people make it great, and it's always nice to talk to some people. I mean, of course, there are some people that could definitely use some talking to. There's at least one guy. I'm not going to name names, but he was definitely being a jerk about it. Maybe he was just having a bad day. I mean, I've had bad days too, but I try not to let that affect my work. I mean, sure, I can get upset all I want, but it's not going to do me any good. Um, which is the basis of another video for another time. But ultimately, though, the people are amazing, as is the management that works there. They're very easy to talk to, and of course they can get on you if you're not doing your job, of course. I mean, naturally, but when you're doing your job, it's nice to know that they appreciate your work, and whenever I do get that. Not always, but when I do get it, it just counts for something, and I appreciate it very much. I really do. And then, and of course, we've had our busiest season between the week of Thanksgiving all the way to the end of just before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It was our busiest season, of course. That's peak season. So that's one of the reasons why I wasn't uploading all that much is because, well, because I had to go to work, whether I liked it or not. But that's just part of the job. In fact, I knew that that was going to be the case when I signed on to it. So, and plus, it doesn't hurt to, you know, to do what you love and get paid for it. I mean, it's not something that was not my original dream to work for FedEx, but you know what? I love the job, so why not? Why not enjoy it? And get paid to do it too. But then again, who doesn't really? But anyway, I have a new job and I love it. And but it was something that I had to work for it. And that's something that my good friend Jason RPG he knows that whatever it is that he intends to do, I'm not going to say what it is because, well, you can just go to his channel and watch it yourself and I can't even talk and formulate your own opinion of it. But ultimately, though, whatever it is that you want, you have to go out and get it. That's practically what it is, and that's practically what I had to do. And it's something that carried over from the year before, 2015, which kind of stems from another topic which again I'll get to in a moment. Excuse me. Of course, I have recovered from a cold not too long ago, so I mean, of course, that's annoying, but hey, it's gonna happen every now and then. Um, of course, I do want to recognize another person that I met this year, and I want to recognize the man who is a toad. He's green, and he's a gamer. Mr. Toad the Gamer. The Green Toad, as I call him. That guy is awesome. Excuse me. Of course, it doesn't help when I cough a lot. Thank you very much. But no, that guy's awesome. I just... One thing I like about him is that, he just does his own thing. Okay. Excuse me. He just does his own thing, and I enjoy it, and and in the short time that I've gotten to know him, and I mean, I don't know him like that. I mean, of course, we talked to each other on Google Hangouts, because that's practically the one way that we could communicate, yes. But for the most part, though, oh God, just coughing all over the place, man. But as far as Toad the Gamer is concerned, he's probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet as well. I mean, he just, he enjoys life, the way that, he just enjoys his life. And, that's something you gotta do with your life, is just to enjoy it for what it is. I mean, is it perfect? No. But I can say for certain that it is a wonderful life. And, just having a little snack. But, really though, I just want to say, Toad the Gamer is very cool. And do check out his Let's Plays. Like, he just, as of the time that I'm recording this, He just finished Mario Party 4, and currently he is still ongoing with his Let's Play of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. I mean, those games are so good. Like, the Thousand Year Door is indisputably my favorite Paper Mario game of all time. I mean, probably the next closest would be Color Splash, but even then, Thousand Year Door is leaps and bounds the best game ever in that franchise's history. And I really wish they had released it for the eShop. Maybe they have, and I probably don't know about it. If you guys know about it, then just comment and let me know. Because I really want to Let's Play that game if I could do it. Which I probably would. And I would have already done so, given I've played the game before. But really, though, TheGamer, probably one of the most... He's definitely vastly underrated for what he does. I mean, he's done such a great job with Let's Plays he's done in the past. I'm just surprised he doesn't get enough credit as he does already. So, if you want to see what he's up to, or see what he has done, check him out. You will not be disappointed. Let's see. Anyone else that I should probably mention? Oh, of course. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this guy. My good friend Moogle Fantasy, then known as MoogleMaster102. I did an interview with him. I believe it was recorded like late 2015, going into 16. And he mentioned MattsLPAdventures. Like MattsLPAdventure, or Matt for short. Matt is pretty cool. Like, I like Matt. I think, and most importantly though, I think the best part of Matt, as great of a Let's Player as he is, because he is a really good Let's Player, honestly, the best part has to be his Twitter. I know that sounds weird, but he's very approachable to talk to on Twitter. I mean, of course, he's not going to answer you right away, and sometimes he may not even say anything because, well, he might be busy with something, which, you know, is something I've learned over the years, which, again, I'll get to in a moment. But for the most part, though, Matt is very, very nice to answer. I mean, he's a really cool guy, and I just, he has a really good head on his shoulders, and that's something that sadly not everybody has. I mean, there are times when I've not had a good head on my shoulder, but most of the time, though, Matt is just just a wonderful guy to talk to. And if you haven't, do check him out on Twitter, and do check out his YouTube channel. Very cool. And then, let's see, another person that I was directed by my good friend LPGrodus. And LPGrodus, he's had an amazing year this year, albeit the first half was amazing. Of course, but of course the second half, I should say, of the year. Excuse me. He hasn't been as busy, but nonetheless, though, he was really nice enough to lead me to this next person, and that is MajicZenith. MajicZenith, I gotta tell you, I didn't know what to think of him at first, but he's just funny, and even when he isn't, especially when he doesn't try to be funny. And then there are the times when he gets serious, and by serious I don't mean like he gets mad, even though he does rage. I mean that part alone is worth the entertainment factor, like the rage. But when he gets serious, like to the point where he's just talking normally, I have a little bit of a cold. I don't know why. Sorry. There we go. Uh, but as far as MajicZenith, like one thing I remember was his. I think it was called the Power of Positivity video. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a link to that video because that video is nothing short of amazing. And the reason I say that is because it's practically on the same level as Jason RPG's outlook of 2016 video. It's right up there. In fact, it probably at one point this video that MajicZenith did probably would have been the indisputed number one for most inspirational video by a Let's Player that I know of. That was until Jason RPG's video came out, but nonetheless, though, that video is so inspirational. Oh, excuse me. So do check that out when you get a chance to. That video is just. It didn't make me cry, but it definitely made me shed a tear of joy because that. It just made me happy. Just to know that, you know, us YouTubers, I mean, some of us get fame and fortune, or just simply fame, I should say. Some of us get famous, but there's a lot more to the person than just the famous personality. I mean, there's a lot more to the person behind the personality. So what I'm saying is, there's more to MajicZenith than meets the eye. Yeah, he's a magical guy, but there's a guy, a man behind the character, and that's the guy that I'm a friend of, and as well as the personality, and I. I just enjoy his content, but also I enjoy talking to him. I don't talk to him every day, but when I do, it's just a special time. But as special as that is, it could probably be rivaled by that of his close friend, and one that I have been watching videos of is MajicZenith's one of his good friends, LPGrodus. LPGrodus, I have to say, Hedgie is probably one of the nicer people that you will ever meet. I mean, he's right up there among some of the nicest people that I've ever met, of course. But LPGrodus, he just has this charm and this well, I don't want to say charm like that, but I meant like he just has this personality that you can get behind. I mean, he can just. What I'm trying to get is he can smile and light up a room. I mean, there's not very many people that can do that. Like, like, uh, like what is it? PikaPlayzHD, he can do that. Mr. Toad TheGamer, he can do that. Who else? Who am I thinking of? Oh yeah, Jakoi, a very good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. He can do that. But LPGrodus, he can do that and just a little bit more. I mean, he could just make you smile, and he could just. Sometimes you forget what troubles you had. There's not very many people that can do that. I mean, not to say that no one before him has been able to do it. They have. But LPGrodus, he just finds a way to do it on a more consistent basis, is what I'm trying to get at. But that doesn't make him any better or worse than any of my other friends I've had in the past. That's not what I'm trying to get at. It's just that's what makes him unique, and that's what I like about him. Not to mention the fact that he does LP some very great games. Like, currently he's doing a Let's Play of World of Final Fantasy, and if you like that game, or you want to know more about it, or you want to see what else he has done in the past, do check him out. I highly recommend it. Uh, and again, when I recommend something, you don't have to do it, but it would be nice if you did. Not so much for me, but for the people that I'm recommending. Um, let's see, who else am I forgetting? Uh, well, I mean, I did have a great time at MajicZenith's streams. I do want to also give a shout out, I guess, to I mentioned Andy from the Gaming Beatdown. Uh, but then there's his friends like Matrix Mandible and his girlfriend, or at the least his lady friend, uh, BlueBab23, or at least that's her name on Twitch. I mean, her real name's Valerie, or sometimes we just call her Val for short. But officially, BlueBab23, probably one of the most gracious hosts on Twitch when it comes to her Twitch content, because her personality just shines, and the company she keeps, or the company that keeps her, I guess you could say, it's easy to see why, because it's like family. In fact, her group name is the Kirby Fam, or Kirby Family, if you wish to go that far. But it's always nice to hang out with the Kirby Fam. I don't get to do it all that often, but when I do, it's very fun. And do check out BlueBab23 and Matrix Mandible on Twitch. I'll try to put their links in the description to go check out their Twitch channels. I mean, they have YouTube channels, yes, but they don't use it very often. So I'll give you some Twitch channels instead. Mm. I'm just eating a little snack before I continue. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who else I should. Oh yeah. Some honorable mentions. I should mention the likes of. Who am I forgetting? Oh yeah. Uh, Tan Man, Jacoy, Candy, Crazy Candy Lady 123 to be more precise. Yeah, Tan Man C, Jacoy, Crazy Candy Lady, Super Mario Luke, Pink Poyo. Who else am I? And then recently Lance, or Gamer the Great. That I think that's his name, Gamer the Great. And then there's well, his name is Fernando, but officially he is known as Ortega King. Forgive me if I sound sad. I'm not trying to sound sad. It's just I had something in my throat. And then who else am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. I mean, there was who was his name? Oh yeah, Bryce. Bryce from McButternugget 1, of course. But those guys that I just mentioned, they've been very cool. They have been very cool. In fact, it's always nice to hang out with them whenever I can. I don't get to do it very often, but when I do, they're very cool. Uh, I mean, those guys, they love to collaborate, and so do I. I love to collaborate. And I'll get to more about that in another video at another time. But, no, they're very cool to collaborate with, whether I'm the hosting the collaboration or whether it's them hosting it and I'm just a guest. So, it's very nice to be the host one video and be the guest in the next. They're very cool to collaborate with. Same thing with everybody that I have collaborated in the past with as well. I'm not going to take that away from anybody, really. But they're very cool. And, yeah, that I'm trying to remember, but I think that's practically about it, though. Um, One thing, though, as far as going into the new year, the old year has definitely had its ups, but unfortunately, the downs have just been too much for most people, like outside of myself. And but for me, though, I cannot ignore the fact that so many celebrities and so many stars, musicians that I've ever known have passed away. I mean, we've had David Bowie, Prince, Glenn Fry of the Eagles, the band known as the Eagles, Emerson and Lake of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Who else? Who else? I forgot. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh yeah, George Michael, uh, Carrie Fisher, and then just earlier today, Debbie Reynolds. Um, I mean, those are just some of the names, but those are like the big ones I can think of at this time that have passed away. And I mean, I could go on and on and on, but you practically get the point that so many people have left this world, and it's really sad to see them go. But perhaps, I mean, for all I know, I mean, they could have been suffering. They could have been in a very bad place, and they just couldn't take it anymore. And I guess, I mean, of course, most of them never committed suicide, at least not that I know of. So I can't say that they suicided themselves, which is good. But I could think, but I would have to think that they were suffering at some point or another. And by leaving this world, it's over. I just hope that they have made it to heaven. I mean, I believe in it because I'm a Christian. I mean, I know talk is cheap, but but that's what I have to say. I mean, I'm saying it because I believe it. But whatever it is that you believe in, one thing is true. At least they will never have to suffer anymore. That's one solace I can take into this. But yeah, it is sad that most people have left, and I mean, same thing with what's his like some of the people that I've known in the wrestling world, like Mr. Fuji and Dusty Rhodes, or actually he was last year. Roddy Piper. I mean, we've had so many wrestlers over the years die, and it's usually a big name here or there, and most of it is really sad to see, like Ultimate Warrior dying at one point, and I mean, it's just sad that some of the stars from the 80s and 90s are gone, and surprisingly, like guys like Bruno Sammartino are still alive. Surprisingly, of course, Andre the Giant's death was rough. But that's just, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg, really. I mean, I can go on and on about that, but sadly, death is an inevitable thing, and all I can tell you is you only have one life to live. I know that James Bond only lived twice, but that's just a movie. In real life, you only have one life to live. And whatever it is that you do with your life, do something with it. Don't just sit down and don't sit back and mope around and do nothing. I mean, it's one thing if you're sick and you need to recover. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind. But you got to do something with your life. You have to enjoy it. I mean, you have to spend time with your family or someone that you love, or go out and get someone to love. And or do something that you love to do. If not, do something that you need to do, like get a job or get money somehow to pay for your house, or to work to feed your kids if you have any kids, or to get kids, or to send your kids off to college if you're that old enough. But what I'm trying to say is live your life and live it to the fullest. Live as if today or tomorrow, if you're lucky enough, but live for today as if it was your last day. Or actually, that a better way to do it is live it. Just live. Excuse me. Just live it. Just live your life, and you just have fun with your life. I mean, of course, try not to hurt yourself or anybody else, but have fun with it. Because you only get one life, and when it's gone, the last thing you want to do is regret what you didn't do. It's, and I've had an old friend of mine tell me, and I'll tell you more about it at some other point, but I think we're almost done with this video. But I just wanted to say, anything that you want to do, go out and do it, and live it, and enjoy it. You only get one life, and it's the only one you have. So whatever your 2016 was, you survived it, but you have another year to go. 2017, I don't know what your plans are, and I'm very uncertain about what I'm going to do, aside from the fact that I want to do much better with my life, and just to be in transition. I'm not going to be the same TehJew22 that I was this year. Heck, I'm not even the same guy that I once was 3 to 5 years ago. So much has changed in 3 to 5 years. Anything can happen in that time. So much could happen within a year's time, as it can be the same for everybody else. But whatever happens, go out there and live your life. And I just want to say, God bless you. And I'll be back with another video, which I'll talk about something that has been going on for not just 2016. It goes back a year and a half, actually. And it's something that I never thought to talk about. It's something I never wanted to talk about. But it was something that I have to talk about because I've been keeping it inside of me for such a long time. And only a select few people already know about this, notwithstanding those who have dealt with it. But I'll get to that when I get to it. But until then, this is TehJew22, and I hope you had and I hope that 2016 was a good year for you, and that 2017 will be a better year for you. Whoever you are, whoever's watching this, my friends, family, maybe even my enemies. I don't know. But until then, stay safe, and I'll see you on the other side of the year.